I'm Kevin across America in Puerto Rico's El Yunque National Rainforest. After spending 5 days in San Juan, it was time to see what else Puerto Rico had to offer. So if you think of like an iconic American national park, Yellowstone comes to mind. Here in Puerto Rico, it's El Yunque National Forest. It's about a 45-minute car ride from San Juan, and that's where I'm headed right now. El Yunque is a tropical forest in northeastern Puerto Rico. It receives more than 200 inches of rain each year on average. That rain feeds lots of waterfalls in the park and hydrates more than 1,000 types of plant species, including orchids and ferns. El Yunque is also home to more than 50 types of birds, plus reptiles, bats, and a special type of frog. Puerto Ricans have a deep love for the coqui frog. It's super tiny, so you're likely not to see it during a visit here, but its sound can be heard all across the island. Just listen. Coqui, coqui. That's the sound it makes, hence its name. Before going any further, as of April 2023, El Yunque was limiting access to 300 vehicles a day to prevent overcrowding. And so you had to make a reservation in advance on Recreation.gov. The cost was $2 per car, and it was non-refundable. One way around the daily limit is to book with an authorized tour operator that uses special permits. Recreation.gov also releases a set number of tickets at 8 every morning for the next day to help people like me who didn't plan ahead. Highway 191 is the main drag through El Yunque. It snakes for 8 miles from the base almost to the summit, with trailheads and observation towers along the way. Not that it should come as a surprise, but the hike to the top of El Yunque is pretty steep. I passed multiple communication towers and abandoned buildings. This looks like something straight out of Jurassic Park. On my way to the park summit, elevation 3,500 feet. This is the peak of El Yunque. You can actually see San Juan in the distance over there. This is the whole northern coast of Puerto Rico, which borders the Atlantic Ocean. Then you can see where it turns past the town of Fajardo to the east coast. It's absolutely spectacular view up here. A short while later,
you can sit here and be here all day looking around.
I met Manuel Velez.
I'm a ham radio operator,
who picked this rocky remote perch to communicate with the world beyond, a hobby he enjoys in his spare time.
I've talked to Russia, Spain, France, South America, Brazil, like pretty much across all the continents.
In the middle of our interview, Manuel and I found ourselves chatting in the clouds.
Well, look at this. I mean, the clouds are coming. we are basically inside the clouds right now.
Pretty darn cool.
And it's sunny there, and it's like this here. But you'll see it keeps going, and then it gets sunny again.
In 2017, Hurricanes Irma and Maria wreaked havoc on El Yunque. The park shut down for around 18 months. When I visited, nearly 6 years after Maria, certain paths remained closed, and construction work was still visible. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, but because the radio towers are on top of some of the mountains here in El Yunque, you get really good cell phone and data signal throughout the park. In 1903, President Theodore Roosevelt preserved a patch of land that's now El Yunque. 30 years later, President Franklin D. Roosevelt used the Civilian Conservation Corps, or CCC, to create roads, trails, and recreational facilities within what was then an undeveloped jungle. The program employed more than 2,600 Puerto Ricans alone during the Great Depression era. The CCC's work in El Yunque includes Baño de Oro, which was a popular swimming hole for more than 30 years. Landslides and sediment buildup forced its closure in the late 1960s, but you can still walk around it. Hola. If you aren't able to snag a reservation for El Yunque, but still want to say you actually stepped foot on park grounds, type Angelito Trail into your smartphone. The half-mile hike takes you to a natural pool in the middle of a river. There's even a rope swing. Because the trail is located outside of El Yunque's main gate, you can access it without a reservation. So this water actually feels really warm, especially considering that it comes from the mountains. Way better than places like Colorado and Montana. I found 3 really good restaurants within a 30-minute drive of El Yunque. The first, Lolita's Mexican in Luquillo, where I ordered the fish ceviche. Number 2, the Bungaloo Restaurant and Bar in Palmer, where I ate a chicken stuffed taco. It was delicious. And number 3, La Estacion in Fajardo. It's located in an old gas station, hence the name. I settled on the award-winning brisket with Caribbean coleslaw, an arepa, and cilantro chimichurri. I also ordered a cocktail made with fresh squeezed fruit juice. In 2000, Brooklyn native Kevin Roth was the chef at a Manhattan restaurant. That's when he met his now wife, Adalia, who's Puerto Rican. During a vacation to the island in 2006, the couple stumbled upon the rickety service station and took a big leap of faith, buying the property, uprooting their lives, and opening what they call a New Rican barbecue joint, using traditional U.S. techniques with Caribbean flavors. I personally found it easy enough to tackle El Yunque's main trails and landmarks in one full day. The park is open from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. Remember to pack lots of water, sunscreen, closed-toe shoes with good tread, rain gear, plus a swimsuit and towel for watering holes. All right, so this is the Airbnb I booked in the mountains overlooking the town of Luquillo. Oh, and one last thing. My Airbnb near El Yunque might have looked basic from the outside, but it felt like a tropical mountain cottage within. The Airbnb had a welcome sign, a complimentary bottle of wine, and a deck overlooking the town and ocean below. I think my favorite part, though, was the shower. It certainly came in handy after a long, hot, and sweaty day of hiking. From El Yunque National Forest in Puerto Rico, I'm Kevin, across America.